Are robot vacuums really worth it? And do you need to spend a lot of money to get a good one? We're gonna test that today. I've got 3 robots here. These ones both mop and vacuum, and they are at very different price points. This one is about $350. This one's about $650, and this one comes in at a whopping $1,100. They all have good reviews online, and these are all known and popular brands. But which one reigns supreme? Do you need to spend a lot of money? Do you need to get the fancy technology, or can you just go for less? And why just vacuum when you can vacuum and mop? I'm lazy. I want as much help as I can get, so we're testing these combos today. We're gonna go on carpet and hardwood. We're dealing with crumbs and spills. We're gonna watch their glory. We're gonna watch their strife. We're definitely gonna laugh. We also might cry.
There's no crying in baseball!
It's gonna be a real crumb bath.
I see what you did there.
If you're new here, I'm Melissa Maker. I'm an accidental cleaning expert. I had a cleaning business for 19 years, and I started it because I hate to clean, but I wanted a clean home. Now, I trained hundreds of cleaners. We cleaned hundreds of thousands of homes, yet I still genuinely hate cleaning. So I started making videos here on YouTube back in 2012 for helping people just like me, people who want the job done right, but in the most efficient and effective way possible in the least amount of time. If that sounds like you, hit subscribe. Okay, let's meet our contenders. And by the way, my daughter, who is 8 and adorable, took the liberty to give each of these vacuums a name, which is a lovely human touch. If you have a robot vacuum, let me know what you've named it in the comments down below, or if you have any funny names for them, also let me know. In just a moment, we're gonna see these in action, and you're not gonna believe how this all shakes out, so make sure you stay with me. This is the Roborock Q10 S5. It's the entry-level contender, and her name is Melody because she sings. Well, she plays a lot of music. Anyway, Roborock is one of the most trusted names in this category. This is their newest model, and it's about $350. Got no frills, but it's a reliable brand. Now this over here is the dreamy L40S Ultra CE, and this is the mid-range contender, and yes, it's pronounced Dream E. And this is Jeffrey. And by the way, according to my daughter, Jeffrey and Melody are dating, so I will let your imagination run wild with that.
It's a classic love story.
Jeffrey comes in at about $650. And then I've got the Matic. Now this was built from scratch by 2 former Google Nest employees who kind of looked at every other robot vacuum on the market and decided to make one very deliberate change. More on that in a moment. Riley gave this the lovely name of Rollo, and Rollo was $1,100. Now, before we get to the tests, let me give you a quick rundown of what each of these machines features and how they differentiate, and frankly, why we're supposed to pay more for this one than we are for this one. All right, so Melody uses LiDAR navigation to map your home, plan efficient cleaning and routes, and of course, remember the map for next time. She can also map multiple floors on her app, so it's great for you if you have a multi-story home. Actually, all of these can do that. The obstacle avoidance here on Melody is basic. It uses structured light sensors, LiDAR, and not a camera. But can it dodge obstacles like its high-tech brethren or sistren? I don't know, we'll see. Now online, a lot of people say that the app is really great, but in my team's experience when we were setting all of these robots up, we had the hardest time with Melody's app, so maybe it was us, but maybe it's not. The other thing to know is that all of your data rolls up and gets stored in the cloud, and some people really don't like that, and Jeffrey has the same issue. So that's just something you'll need to know. Now there's no auto empty dock or self-wetting and self-cleaning mop pad. When it finishes cleaning, it just docks and it charges. And you will have to do the rest of the maintenance, like empty the dustbin and rip off this mop pad, and you're gonna have to rinse it too. And if you don't do that, it's going to sit wet on the floor, and that's not great. It's also got a pretty small water tank and a pretty small dust bag. So yeah, this is a pretty basic model. Now, Jeffrey, this is where the technology starts to get exciting. It's got a power dock, so it's got this big base station that kind of does everything for you. Jeffrey has his own contained dirty water and clean water supply. And what's great about the self-cleaning pads is that they don't sit damp or moldy on your floor. This is a very low maintenance machine, and I kind of love that. Now, what else is great is it's got this head here, which is known for picking up and cutting through hair, which can be a real PITA for people with long hair and pets. Now, navigation on Jeffrey is also LiDAR, which is the same principle as Melody, the Roborock. But what it does not have is an AI camera for that obstacle avoidance. You're going to be paying more for that. It uses a 3D infrared depth sensor instead, which means it can handle furniture and furniture legs well, but it's still going to struggle with smaller things like cables and socks and coins on the floor. And like Roborock, the app on Jeffrey is going to beautifully and creepily map your home. And again, it's gonna store it in the app and roll it up into the cloud. So you just have to decide how that feels for you. Now Rollo is genuinely different. It's got 5 cameras on it instead of LiDAR. It's got RGB infrared cameras that build this photorealistic 3-dimensional map of your home. It's actually very cool. Rollo genuinely sees obstacle. It's not just kind of sensing them and going off vibes. Like, it actually sees them. And it can navigate around those small things like cables and small objects and anything larger than about an inch. All the data is stored directly right here on this device. Yes, it works with your app, but the data goes nowhere. If you care about your privacy in your home, this is a real differentiator. Now, this has a small tank on board and 1 wet roller head, so it's totally different than the discs of these two. The other thing you'll notice is it's high profile compared to these two. It's quite a bit taller, so it's not going to be able to get under that low profile furniture. Now, that being said, it's got a small dock and it looks kind of unobtrusive. The dust collection bag inside the robot itself is quite small, and you'll need to swap it out about once a week, depending on use. They also send you a little sticker pack and these very large googly eyes, so you can glow Rollo up however you like. And my daughter and I will be doing this later. So I've prepared 3 tests for these vacuums. We're gonna go and do that now. And road test number 1 is what I am calling the real life mess test. I'm giving each robot a decently aggressive amount of crumbs and spills to clean up. I've got no obstacles on the floor besides large pieces of furniture, so we can really focus on the cleaning aspect of what these guys can do. Did it ultimately make more of a mess than it did good? Trust me, that happens with robot vacuums sometimes. And of course, because it's me, did anything funny happen? All right, we're ready for road test number 2, which is the obstacle gauntlet. This is the test that I think matters the most for real world use, because literally nobody I know has the time to pick up all the things from the floor so that their little robot vacuum can start to clean. There's always going to be like a cable or a sock or a coin or a chair somewhere, and these things are going to have to figure their way around them so that they can do their job. So that's what we're going to test. Now, I want to see which one of these robots can navigate the real obstacles and which ones require you to run around your house and like frantically pick things up before you ever turn it on, and also which ones are going to need to be rescued. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, and here's road test number 3, the regular maintenance. How much time are we gonna have to spend caring for and emptying and washing and rinsing and cleaning and singing and petting?
Well, it's quite a list you got there.
Like, how much time are we gonna have to spend caring for these things that are supposed to make our lives easier? Because honestly, if I have to spend more time caring for these things than I do myself or my child, like, not worth my time. If your vacuum is not clean and needs to be maintained, it is not gonna do its job. So there's actually no point of having one of these if you need to maintain it and you're not willing to do that. So that's why we need to test this. All right, it's verdict time. Jeffrey, unsurprisingly, is gonna get you the most hands-off experience your money can buy with the most decent performance. The automation level on this machine for $650 happens to be terrific. The power dock handles everything that you're gonna need. After you set it up, it empties the dust for 100 days, washes the mops with hot water, dries them with warm air, gets them wet when it's ready to mop, and it refills the water tank. You interact with this machine about once a month. This is genuinely impressive for the price. The caveat is on the obstacle side of things. It's got no AI cameras, which means a pre-tidy is gonna be in the cards for you. Now, Melody did a basic job at best, and I was not overly impressed with her results. And she took more adjusting, like I had to do a lot more work myself to make her work, and there was a lot of maintenance that was required as well. There's like a very simple dock, and you're constantly on top of her, making sure she's doing her thing. The team and I also found setting up all of the zoning and her app to be particularly finicky as well. Now, Rollo was a beast with obstacle avoidance, and if privacy is a concern for you and you don't want your home being mapped or uploaded to a cloud server and you like sleek design, this is designed for you. This navigates real-world floor obstacles better than anything else here. But of course, it's in a higher price range. Now, if I had to buy one of these tomorrow for my home, we know I have mixed hard floors and carpets, I've got a family, and a preference for as little maintenance as possible. This is what I would do. Now, you probably already know that I'm gonna say that Melody is a hard no. Sorry, girl, but you are just not worth the money. Now, because I'm uniquely lazy, Jeffrey speaks to me the most because it requires the least amount of maintenance. But I will say this, I get sketched right out thinking that my house is being mapped, potentially cameras are seeing what's going on, and it's rolling up into a cloud server that I have absolutely no control over. So when Jeffrey's not in use, Jeffrey gets unplugged. And that means that I can't use it on a whim and just set up the app. I have to actively think about that. Also, there have been times, because I've had Jeffrey at home for a while, where Jeffrey has moved or spoken when not instructed to do so, and that is a little bit creepy.
Creepy.
I happen to feel more at ease with Rollo's privacy offering, despite me being annoyed with having to clean that mop head and maintain it more frequently. But I also find Rollo to be really cute when it's working. Like, I kind of enjoy its presence, whereas the other two sort of get on my nerves, but Rollo's kind of cute, like a little dog. Now, in full transparency, Jeffrey and Rollo were both sent to me, and I'm gonna keep both of them. Jeffrey is gonna live on this floor that I'm sitting on right now, which is where my kitchen, living room, and dining room is, and Rollo is gonna live on the lower level where my entrance and office and laundry room is. Now, if I were an 8-year-old, I would definitely pick the vacuum that I could dress up with stickers, because I have to say, Rollo gives more of like pet, where these two give more of like creepy, robot, futuristic intrusion.
I am an android, not a robot.
3 robots, 3 price points, 2 winners. Links for all 3 of these vacuums I'm gonna put in the description box below, because Melody still might speak to you. And you can go ahead and you can look at all of the actual specs in greater detail and see current pricing for yourself with all of those links. Prices in these categories do move around a lot, and those big sales cycles really affect the price of these. So if you are thinking about getting one, stay tuned for like Prime Day or Black Friday, because those are the best times to buy them. Now, if you like what we do here at Clean My Space, I also have a newsletter. It's called The Dirty Dish, and that is where I share product reviews, cleaning tips and tricks that sometimes I just can't cover here on YouTube. And if you want to subscribe, I'll give you a link to that down below. By the way, if you missed our last video, it's right over here. You can check that out. And if you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to the Clean My Space channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.